There used to be a baby ballet class. She stopped because she was having a baby. But that, oh, I'm not kidding. I was emotional when those kids were in there.
If you get 2 massages a day, your wealth will start increasing, your attitude will start increasing, your vitality for life will start increasing. He said, so it's an investment, it's not you're wasting money. And people go,
well, we can go out and eat those blueberries now if you like. You taste it. You would never taste blueberries like that. You don't even wash them, you just eat them. Every day is a present.
Every day is a present.
Every day is a present.
Hi guys, welcome to the Full Power Podcast with me, Liam Browne. Today we've got one of my favourite people in the whole world. She's amazing. She's like one of the elders. She's like the person that I wish was my grandma because she just like makes me feel nurtured and held and supported every time I spend time with her. And she's cool as fuck. And she wears Snoop Dogg T-shirt, so kind of says a lot about her. She's 77, she's a Thai massage therapist, she's got a beautiful yoga studio in her home, she has like a little yoga B&B, and she's got this company called Stitch Massey, which has been making clothing in and around Manchester for probably like the past 130 years or something. And she makes amazing garments, she's worked with some incredible people, she's lived a really rich and colourful life, and it's an amazing pleasure to have her as the first guest on the Full Power Podcast. Right, Di.
Go on.
Welcome
Liam.
to the Full Power Podcast.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I really wanted you on to be my first guest because I feel like...
Am I the first guest?
You're the first guest, yeah. This is podcast number 1.
So you started with the youngest.
You started with the youngest, of course. No, but I feel like everything I've been doing over the last sort of few years, you're kind of like the foundation, like the grandma, the elder, the...
Oh, good.
Yeah, just like the
big mama.
Yeah, the big mama, like the one who holds it all together, like... And whenever you rock up at events and stuff and just all your knowledge and to see you at the age that you are with the vibrancy that you've got, that's what the Full Power Podcast is all about. It's like, how do people get towards the fullest version of themselves, still having happiness, still having joy in all that they do, regardless of what age they are, because Lady CACAO's mission is for everybody to be living their life purpose. If you're living your life purpose, you are happy. You are feeling magnificent.
Yeah. And if you're happy, you're healthy. If you're happy mentally, sorted, and it keeps you not that I haven't got anything wrong with me, but it just keeps you okay. Because you're enjoying it. Yeah. And I do enjoy everything. I enjoy washing up, I enjoy the garden, enjoy the making, enjoy you guys coming, everything's fun.
And that's what I mean, you do so many different things, and that's what I want to talk about today on the podcast. Is a lot of the things, your history, upbringing, obviously the huge connection to Manchester, the various Stockport and Manchester, but the various scenes that have gone on within your life. There's been many scenes, but just the fact that you've got a yoga studio in the end of your garden, you're a fashion designer, you're a Thai massage teacher. You train people in Thai massage, you've been doing this, so you've got this whole holistic thing, your connection to food and the way you cook and the way just this table, man, this table's got so much history to it. Like the people,
41 years.
That's what I mean, but the people that have sat around this table and the food that we've shared and people from all, and there's always eclectic people in your house.
Yeah, they just keep coming. And if you could
because of you.
All right, I thought it was the muck in the thing, because if you pick the muck out and it could tell you stories, I'd have to disappear. 41 years.
41 years, this table.
This house.
This house, right, okay.
83, bought this house.
Yeah.
And it's seen, there's been 40 odd people live here. In and out, lodgers, family, kids, teenagers. It's been amazing, this house. This house has been... And when I bought it, everybody said, what are you buying that house for? It's terrible. And I went, no, it's not.
Yeah, and now Heaton Moor's probably one of the most sought after places to live in Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't live in Heaton Moor. That's the other side
Oh,
of the
right.
tracks.
What's this classed as?
I'm on the right side of the tracks. This is Heaton Chapel.
Oh, Heaton Chapel.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I thought it was the A6 that split it, but...
No, it's the railway line.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which
Okay,
we'll
cool.
hear any minute now.
Right, so before we get into
Yeah.
your history, and before we get into your story and everything
Yeah.
that you do, 2 questions.
Go on.
First question is, what's the most difficult period you've ever gone through in your life?
Closing my business and making that decision, it took me a year to shut it down.
What was the business?
It was a Stitch Massey, bought
Yeah.
Stitch Massey when it was big, you know, when I employed a lot of people, and I had to make that decision. And my daughter was having a baby, and I just thought this pregnancy and this birth and all this stuff is going to, because we worked together, and she did all the bookkeeping and the looking after, and I didn't get involved in that, and that's really, it's pressure, it's a lot of pressure. So that was like the cut-off point, and it took a year to close it all down. So nobody owed us money, and we didn't owe anybody any money.
And why was it so difficult?
Because if I hadn't, I had to duck and dive, because in the rag trade then, it's a bit different now, but when you supply retailers, they give them 30 days to pay, but they don't pay for 40 and 50, and then you're chasing that money, but you're making the next delivery for them, and and it takes such a long time. So I had to kind of lie a bit and say, your stuff's on its way, give me your money and you can have your stuff. And then I had to wait till everybody had given me the money, and then I said, you can do one, you're not having anything because you've just blown it totally.
Right, okay.
And then I went off and had a holiday, and came back, and I met somebody at the airport who'd just done that course I did, and I went straight to the college and got on the course and got a little teaching job in the other department, and that was it for 3 years.
What was that, in the Thai massage?
No, because I did a holistic course where you do everything.
Okay.
You know, you do
And when was this?
96, I think.
So it's before it was really popular.
Yeah, they were the first. They were amazing. The lady John Scott that ran it and organised it, and they were all incredible, and it was new. It was like we had people coming, you know, crazy, amazing people that that were out there in industry.
Yeah.
And now a lot of teaching. Well, they don't do it in colleges, because colleges are now concentrated on 16 to 18-year-olds. But then they just employ people who are out in the industry and come and lecture for a day or a week or whatever. And they were, you know, there were healers. They were all healers. So one woman, Liam Browne, who was a reflexologist, but she did hypnotherapy. And she'd take people and do amazing things, like amazing things that you'd never heard of, you know, helping people with hypnotherapy. There were loads of people that were brought in to teach us, and it was an adult course, so everybody's, you know, teaching. And I did teach, but I taught teenagers, and it's really hard. You're just babysitting, basically, and giving them something to play with. But teaching adults, which I did later, adults are so committed. They've got babysitters, so they've given up a job, or it's a life change for them, and so they're very dedicated. All those people that I trained with all went on to do something because they were passionate. And
how was that in, like, obviously in '96, like when I was started doing yoga and into the holistic, everyone thought it was weird, everyone thought it was mad. How was it in the '90s then? How was that accepted, the sort of holistic hypnotherapy, everything like that?
Well, it's funny because I did yoga like 50 years ago with a district nurse in a house.
Right.
And so it changed from that. And then Matt, you know Matt, who started a
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan started
Yoga
a yoga
Manchester,
thing in Heaton Moor. And he was a bit kind of, will people come? And like within weeks, there was like 50 people. In the room, so it was clearly like it's going to happen this, and then of course it's happened, hasn't it? Now yoga, Pilates, sound healing, gongs, bowls, all this lovely stuff going on.
Pussy power.
Well,
womb healings.
Womb healing, yeah. Well, listen,
All
people
these
come,
things,
so they
yeah,
clearly need
exactly.
it, don't they?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
COVID, well, obviously made a mess of things, but we carried on.
But more people were driven towards that
I
healing
think
because it gave them a bit of space to go, what am I doing with my life? Why am I going to work every day? What's my life about? And that made a lot of people explore different ways of being, different modalities. And a lot of people got into their health and wellness, into yoga during that time because you just had space to think about what do I want to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's community, isn't it? Because all the communities were smashed and like chucked in the bin. So, in a way, it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
There's no
out
bad
of bad
things.
things, out of shit, grow beautiful flowers.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about your most difficult time. What was it? Was it the fact that you did that course after that was your beautiful thing that happened from shutting down your business? We always say that from your most difficult thing or from your worst situation in life becomes the most beautiful thing, actually, when you think about it.
Absolutely.
So what was the beautiful thing that come from you making that decision?
Going away, chilling out, helping somebody else in America, a friend who was moving, and coming back with nothing, like a totally clean sheet. And my mates in the States said, what are you going to do when you get back? And I went, I don't know. I don't need to know because I've kind of got a clean, so something will come. And I hadn't even got out of the airport, and it was like, yep.
This is it.
Yes, yeah. And I met this old friend who'd just done it, and she said, you should go to the open day tomorrow. It's open tomorrow. And I went down, I signed up for a course, 2-3 years, and got a job in another department because I saw somebody. And it was like, bloody hell, what's going on?
The universe just bo.
Yeah, and it was because because everything else had gone.
Yeah.
So getting rid of it was difficult, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I can't wait to get rid of this because it's heavy as shit, all that.
Running a business.
Running a business, employing people.
It's pressure, yeah. You've got a lot of people relying on you.
Yeah, and I hadn't been away for years. I hadn't been away properly.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a proper... You just go. You wake up in the morning, you think, I've got the VAT man, the bank manager, I've got staff, I've got cloth coming in, I've got production to do, I've got to deal with the factory, but it's like...
It's non-stop. So where did Stitch Massey come from then? How did it start? What is it? What was Stitch Massey?
Stitch Massey was my great-great-granddad, and he was a tailor to... wait a minute, he was the valet to Squire Blackshaw, who was the something to do with Congleton. He was like the mayor or something. Anyway, Stitch Massey was his valet, and Stitch Massey ran off with one of his daughters. So he was a lord of something or other. So he ran off with one of the daughters, and the daughter got cut off from the family. They lived in Martin Hall. And so they then had 6 kids who were all educated, could read and write, could speak French because of her education. She'd been educated somewhere. But they lived in Macclesfield in a 2-up, 2-down. They had no shoes, didn't go to school, but they were the only kids.
They were
I
posh.
think. But they were posh. Well, they were educated.
Yeah.
And then one of those daughters became a seamstress, a tailor like him. He was a tailor. So he was your typical 1890 something, sat in his window in a little house in Macclesfield, cross-legged, which I've got a little image of him somewhere. Not that I knew him, obviously. In the window and tailoring. And people would come to him to get the suits made. And then, so his daughter... One of his kids became a tailor, then one of her kids became... And then one of her kids was my grandma. I can't remember how many generations it goes. And she made gentlemen's shirts. She made that bit. Because gentlemen would wear a shirt and then they'd attach a bib.
Right.
Yeah, so the tailoring became the shirt making, and then Stitch Massey started as a shirt maker.
Yeah.
We were shirt makers. And we supplied like 50 shops in the UK, and it was thriving, but it wasn't thriving because it was thriving as a business, but because retailers just don't pay fast enough, or didn't, I think.
There's always cash flow issues.
Always.
Yeah.
And it was the bank manager that came round one day. The bank manager used to come every once a year or something. Meg and I'd do a spread, entertain him and talk to him. He was adorable. Frank Gold, he was called. What's he been called? Gold. And I said to him, Frank, what's going on? We've been doing this for 10 years. Every year we sell more stuff, we get more popular, people love us, and we've never got any money. He said, no, we've got your money. I said, you haven't got. He said, yeah, we've got your money because it's the overdraft that you have to go into twice a year that's bleeding you dry.
Right.
And I thought, right, I'm off.
Yeah.
That was it. And he was retiring, and I thought, we'll never have a bank manager like him.
And what did you change about Stitch Massey then when you got it? Because you wasn't just doing shirts then, was you?
No, because Altrincham Market. I went to Altrincham Market and met Jenny Thompson, who's the lady that kind of runs it, and she asked me to make something. I was busy. I was working with the doctor. I was very heavily into the holistic stuff and the Thai, because I went to Thailand, trained with a wonderful monk who was. And she asked me to make some clothes, and I did. And she loved them. She said, why don't you make some more clothes and do the market? So I did Altrincham Market on a Sunday for a few years. But that's hard, because you've got to make a lot of nice stuff, and you might sell 2 pieces, and then you go next week, and you've got to make it look different. But I got I met a lot of really lovely people on there, and that was good.
Well, that changed the whole of Altrincham, didn't it? It revamped. Once that come out, that revamped the whole of Altrincham. Before that, it was just empty shops everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a really pivotal moment for Altrincham, because it's it's absolutely amazing place now, an amazing area.
What they did with that was incredible.
Yeah, they transformed the whole place.
But it stayed small, just me and my right-hand woman, Kath, who's the most incredible seamstress and has been sewing with beautifully for 48 years. And she worked for shirt. So it just evolved into that. Then COVID hit, and it was like, I'm kind of glad in a way, because I can't keep this up. So we started making beautiful silk masks. and they were lovely.
No, smashing them out around here.
Masks.
Yeah.
Smashed them out.
And then my students used to come in, because you got a little shop in the front of your house.
Yeah.
And my students used to come in and they'd be like, go and look at Di's stuff, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And now I just make for people, and Kath, when I've got Kath, I just make for people who, so it's like made to order.
I've heard you making some stuff for the Blossoms. How did that all come about? The Blossoms, obviously, are this Manchester, probably the biggest Manchester indie band at the moment, aren't they?
Right. Well, the Stockport.
Yeah, sorry. Stockport. It's like that thing with, if you're from Scotland, you're Great British. If you're from Stockport, you're Mancunian. We claim you.
Well, it is great in Manchester, yeah. And they're called Blossoms.
Yeah.
And they're lovely. And they wanted some stuff making, because they're down the road.
But how did they hear about you? Where was the connection? The
connection is through, Hillgate in Stockport now is changing, and there's lots of independent shops, independent cafes, restaurants, and I've kind of got involved and got to know all those people, and through them, so Tom, who's the singer, his wife has a hairdresser's shop down there. And they're lovely anyway. It's just all lovely. They're just lovely people.
Yeah.
So it's like a little community down there. So if I hang around long enough, I'll get an order here, an order there, an order, aprons, whatever it is, And that's lovely, because then you're not making to hang on a rail and try and sell.
In the hope that someone buys it.
No, you're making for that person, and then when you're making it, there's a lot of love goes into that.
Yeah. And what are you doing for? What's the plan for them? You're making the outfits for?
Oh, for Blossoms.
Yeah.
So I did the stuff for the album cover, their new album, which is called Gary.
Right. Okay.
Gary's a big gorilla.
Right.
I'm dying to make stuff for Gary. Very nice stuff. And then they wore it on stage at a gig, and they looked incredible, and they'd like a bit more stuff.
Brilliant.
So that's good. I hope it's like ongoing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it isn't, if they find somebody else,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
You've
You know,
got
it's
loads
like,
going on anyway, haven't you?
yeah, but they're up the road and that's nice.
Yeah.
So everything's pretty local now.
Good, good.
And somebody said, why don't you get into mail order? No.
No.
Oh, you know, that's the thing with manufacturing. You sell to a retailer or you give your stuff to a retailer, they sell it. You never meet or see the person in your garments. So I'd rather make 5 garments a week than 10,000 garments a year, which is what we did. Because then you deliver the stuff and you know, try it on. If you like it, you can pay me.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's fine. That's fine. We'll make
yeah.
something else, or that's it. I've fallen out with you.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can do 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And then I can do all my other stuff.
If you use a lot of stuff, you have. Go on, talk us through all the stuff you do.
Okay.
So how many businesses do you run from this house?
Log storing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your B&B.
I've got a little yoga B&B. So if somebody's using the studio and they want to stay, or you know, just friends that want to stay and they're doing something in Manchester. Got the studio. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. Downstairs, I'm making clothes. I do treatments. I've got allotments, and I've got to keep that garden looking.
Because it's perfect for the studio.
Very
Because we'll go into the studio in a little bit.
Okay.
Before we go into the studio, because I feel like the studio is almost become this little kind of famous sort of bespoke space in Stockport. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are drawn to it for wellness events. For me, it's where I started doing events. I was doing the CACAO ceremonies there when we had 20 people until we outgrew it. But you remember when I was first doing things in there was only 4 or 5 people coming to me events, and it just went bum, 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 bum. And then obviously a lot of other people use the space. There's regular yoga classes, Pilates classes going on there, and then people using it for, you know, other events as well.
And it's small, so for people like you, you're gonna like outgrow it, which is fine, isn't it? Because that's where you started. And it's nice that it's small, and I get amazing feedback. People go, "Oh, I never knew this was here," and it's a hidden little gem.
It's such a special little space, and
It
people
is.
love it. It's got that wow factor, and then, like you said, with the garden, you look, people sometimes looking out and just like, wow, and especially when it goes dark and then the lights come on, or in the middle of one of my ceremonies and everyone's looking past me going, and I turn around and you're up a fucking tree. I'm like, yeah, she's got a broomstick. She's not up a ladder. She's got a broomstick on.
I've got a broomstick, but I don't use
She's
it,
not really
you know.
there. You're tripping.
I don't get it out when there's people in the studio. But that studio, another thing that like I always fancied doing something down there because that bit of land. I mean, it's not even a bit of land; it's the end of the garden. But then Eamon, my lovely friend, who is amazing at putting things, architectural stuff, he built it for me, and it was always like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to teach, but I only teach 1-to-1 now, so it's no good to me. But it has. There was no plan.
Yeah.
It's just grown and evolved
Organically.
Yeah, organically.
Yeah,
I'm into the organics, definitely.
definitely.
The organic blueberries so yeah, Eamon Doyle built it, and he did the most amazing job. And
How long's it been out?
15 years.
And it still looks amazing.
It still looks incredible.
Yeah.
There's a few bits of rotten wood, but I put a mat on that.
Put a flower pot on it. So, like in your life, who's been your biggest influence, like positive influence on you?
Oh,
A person who's inspired you the most?
I don't know. I really don't.
Is there many, or?
Yeah, I think one word could inspire you.
Yeah.
Or one action, or something somebody does.
Mm-hmm.
So you lean towards people that almost give back something. They're not. You know, that's not the plan, but something comes back, and I feel very, very blessed because everybody that comes, whether they're buying clothes or doing downward dog or whatever they're doing, is lovely.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to go out looking anymore. Well, obviously you do, don't you? You're always on the go, but it's, I don't know what's happened. I didn't plan it that way, but I let it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there has been times, obviously, when I've gone, no, I'm sorry, you're not getting in, whatever it might be. But so just kind of keeping balls, juggling balls, and keeping everything in the air is very exciting. So I haven't got time to not. Do you know what I mean? It's just happened, and it's.
But what would be your, like? Obviously, can we share how old you are? How old was you yesterday?
Yesterday was my birthday, and I was 77.
77.
61. Now. Yeah.
77.
77.
Or as my dad says, you're only as old as the woman that you're feeling. So your bloke's 70, so you're 70 in my dad's concept.
Okay. Or there's another theory with age, isn't it? 70 years and 10.
Yeah.
Which is what was always, that's what my dad said. If you live beyond 70 years and 10, which is 70, you live in the present, and every day is a present.
Every day is a present.
Every day is a present.
But what do you feel is your secret to your youthful exuberance? Because I know 20-year-olds who are older than you.
Yeah.
In their way of being and the mindset.
Well, it's energy, isn't it? It's to do with energy.
So what's your secret?
I'm not telling you.
Come on, we can sell it.
I could sell it.
Well, what would be like your top?
Food.
Nutrition.
Food is the most. I wake up starving.
And you have papaya every day.
I have lots and lots and lots of fruit, and then by lunchtime I'm starving, and so I eat. But food is the biggest thing. Where I buy it, or where I grow it, or where it's come from, or it's the biggest thing. It's the most important thing for me. Not going out, no, and getting those times where there's no pressure, so it might be lay on a yoga mat, or it might be just having an afternoon kip. I don't do that very often. But what?
You can piss right off. You have nana naps all the time. You just thought she's asleep. She's gone.
No, do you know what? I can fall asleep waiting for the traffic lights to go on green.
I know. I've seen it.
Just quick. 3 seconds. Oh, so.
She's asleep. Yeah, she's asleep.
Yeah, so and I think that, I don't know what that is. I think you inherit that, you know.
What the?
That kind of, I'm not doing anything for 5 minutes, jump. Or I'm not doing anything for 5 minutes, I'm going to make myself some nice grub. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my dad was like that, so maybe I just inherited it, I don't know.
And so obviously in your personal life, you kids really young, so a lot of people would say, you've had a kid at 17, you've ruined your life, and that's obviously not been the case for you.
No.
Because you've done amazing things with your life, and you've got a huge family, grandkids, kids. You've got great grandkids as well, haven't you?
Yeah. The eldest one's going to college this year.
The eldest great grandkid?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. Isn't that wonderful though? I'm so glad I had kids at 17, because now there's all these kids.
Yeah.
And they all visit, and they all love coming in. And God, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Really.
And it all happens around this table most of the time, doesn't it?
Happens. And when I bought this house, a mate came in and said, I've got a table for you. So 41 years ago, I paid 100 quid for the table. Right, and I remember thinking, that is an incredible.
What's that a day? How much have you paid for a day? Less than a penny a day.
Yeah, but at the time, 100 quid was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I just went, it belongs here. If this table could talk, oh my God. Yeah, so it's one of the best things I ever bought, and it's still here in the same place. Yeah, he was clever, that guy. He came in, he said, I've got a table that would fit in here and you'll like it. And he brought it in, put it down, and it's never moved since.
Brilliant.
And there's a lot of stuff gone on around this table. A lot of food been eaten. A lot of drink been, supped, and a lot of all sorts of nice things.
Well, the people coming in and having chats with you, and you kind of draw people are drawn from the studio to come in here as well. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, they are.
have a
and
chat.
when you think about it, there's all out there that you can sit around and do things. The studio in here, the workroom downstairs, the stock room in the front, and the massage room upstairs. It's like it's all going off.
Yeah.
It's good.
And what about what was your experience at the festival that we did, the Stone Cold Sober Festival?
I loved it, except I wanted a flat. It was a bit lumpy.
What, the grass?
Yeah.
How dare it?
So at night was a bit like, oh, there's a lump there, and it's moving that way, and there's a lump there. And it was a bit that. But do you know what? I had such a great time.
Yeah.
I really did have a good time. And I came home with some spondoolies. So.
Yeah, you're out on site masseuse, aren't you?
Yeah, that was lovely.
Thai yoga massage. So tell us about Thai yoga massage then. What is it?
Well, Thai yoga massage is literally, I should call it something else, because it's got a ring to it. Thai massage, isn't it?
Thai massages, yeah. But Thai yoga massage.
I think it's alignment, it's straightening somebody up. So it's not unlike making a garment. Because, your sleeves have got to be the same. Otherwise your garment's wrong. Your cuffs, your collar's got to... If you put a collar on wrong, it goes like that.
So in a way, your Stitch Massey was a little bit of training for your Thai yoga massage.
Yeah. So when somebody lies on the floor, you look at where the feet are.
Yeah.
So you look at the foot, and if one foot's falling that way and the other's not, that hip's out.
Yeah.
And then you turn somebody over and you look at the shoulders, and you can see, oh, you're left-handed, to see what you're doing. So it's really about not just pulling people into place and giving them deep, deep stretches that they could never get themselves in doing yoga. Although I was watching you this morning with your moves, and that's pretty incredible. But you practice every day, so you're doing it yourself. You probably don't need a lining. You probably just need a bit of elbowing.
Yeah.
So, and I love that, getting the elbow in people and standing on people's back.
Like giving them pain.
Yeah, and getting under, pulling that, and get that shoulder. It's lovely, and you think that it looks brutal, but stand up and they go, "Whoa, feel great."
Yeah.
So it's lining, it's straightening people, it's alignment, it's musculoskeletal alignment. That's what it is. And
what are the biggest benefits people get from it then?
Awareness, I think.
Yeah. Because
we walk around in our bodies and we look at all sorts of things. We don't kind of stand in the mirror and go, is one shoulder higher than the other? Am I like that? Or am I like that? Am I like that? Or am I like that? So it's making them aware of what they're doing. Like the biggest one, which nearly everybody has, is leaning, is putting too much pressure on the heel. So they're not on the toes. The weight is on the heel, which messes your lower back. It messes your knees, because you lock your ankles, you lock your knees. If you lock your ankles and your knees, you're going to lock your hips. If you lock your hips, you're going to lock your lower back. And then everything from waist down is a bit of it's not right.
Yeah, because when someone lines me up, it almost, when they put you in correct alignment, it almost feels like when you go and walk, then you feel like weird for a bit. It's like when you get your new lenses and your glasses and you go outside and it's like, feels weird for a bit, but it's right. It's right. You know what I mean? But it's just like getting used to it with your body. Yeah. When someone moves your hip or moves your shoulder or something.
Yeah, and you know what? It's nice. You should do it just right. I think what I do everybody should be doing to each other. I'd love that. It's because if you had somebody just lining you up 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes, you'd get more benefit from that, really.
Yeah.
But that's how the thing goes, I want a massage, it's an hour, it's so much money. But in actual fact, we'd all be better off doing it to each other.
Yeah.
And
like a conga line of massages.
Yeah, you could maybe do that. Or you know, I think would be lovely is teaching couples. So you know, it works. I've done workshops like that. You just put two people together and of a similar height, and then get them doing things to each other. So back to back and straightening the back up, or there's loads of things you can do very, very quickly just to line somebody up. So really, you're just concentrating on the load-bearing joints like hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, just lining everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, you do. I'm a bit I'm a bit anal about stuff like that. Like just folding towels, they've got to be folded correctly because then they go in the cupboard correctly. And that's all you're doing with bodies. That's all you're doing with clothes. That's all you're doing with food. It's the same, isn't it? Right the way through from bodies, clothes, folding towels, putting your pots away, making the soup.
Well, we watched that. What's it called? That is it Marie Kondo? She's like the little. I think she's Japanese and she's in America and she goes into people's houses, organises stuff. And I'd never seen it before. I think she's called Marie Kondo.
Is it like feng shui stuff?
Sort of, but organising people's crap. And me and P were watching it, and then she opens this cupboard, this drawer, and P's like, "Oh my God, I know, I told you had OCD because I already do my T-shirts like with a little fold and like so I can see them all. Do you know what I mean? Rather than people just have them on top and you got to go through them and then you make more of a mess. It's like I can see all my T-shirts, I can see everything. It's like for me, being organised, having my tins in the right row and order, it's like I know where I'm up to. Gives me an easier start with things.
I think that's incredible.
And people call it OCD, but I'm like, no, it's just being fucking organised.
Well, let's that acronym OCD, organised, controlled, dedication. You know, think of a new name for it because I think it's very important because it makes life really easy. So you need a whisk. You needed a whisk this morning, right? And it's like I keep my whisk there, and I've got a thingy whisk there, and I didn't have the whisk you wanted, and I'm going to go and buy one.
I'll buy you one.
It'll be in that whisk place. So yeah, if everything is in order, then you can do more.
Yeah, for me it's like foundation because people see me and I mess about all the time and I'm always having fun, but then I wouldn't be having that much fun if I didn't do my yoga and my meditation in the morning. It's like that's my medicine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And if you weren't a little bit OCD.
Yeah.
So OCD really
is a positive.
Absolutely. I know there's OCD at that level, but that you know we're losing that because young people aren't like that. You know, they rip packets open and then you can't seal them, and it's just silly little things that you just think those things are done automatically. Like turn the bloody lights off when you go to bed and stuff like that. Or you know, all sorts of stuff, isn't it? But I do think that if there's a place for everything and everything in its place makes life very, and you're happy.
Exactly, and then you can have fun because you know where everything is.
Well, you've got time to have fun, be productive. You know, you've got more time.
Well, that's what with the massages as well. Like Robin Sharma, who does the 5 a.m. club, and he's like, if you want to be rich and you want to be a multi-millionaire, get 2 massages a day. And he's like, you might be reading this and going, I can't afford 2 massages. Not 2 massages a day, 2 massages a week.
Right.
He said, you might be thinking this, you can't afford it. He said, but trust me, if you get 2 massages a day, your wealth will start increasing. Your like attitude will start increasing.
Absolutely.
Your vitality for life will start increasing. He said, so it's an investment. It's not you're wasting money. And people go, oh, and I've been doing it. And I've been doing it for 2 years. And like, everything you see what I'm doing and how it's increasing all the time in like its popularity in terms of its production, everything that I do, and that's like it's just one of the things that I do is commit to having at least a massage a week.
Good.
And try and have 2.
Hey, where'd you go? You don't come here.
I live in South West Wales now. You are going to do me before I go home. Okay. So you are like the gangster granny in a lot of ways with your BMX, with your BMX bike.
My BMX bike.
And let's talk us through who's on your T-shirt as well.
Oh, well, he's busy. Don't interrupt him because he's doing me ironing.
Who is it?
Snoop
Dogg. So, do you think you're the only 77-year-old who wears a Snoop vest on a birthday?
On a BMX.
On a BMX.
Yeah, picking blueberries.
What's the reaction you get when you're cruising around on your BMX?
Well, some people probably think, she's mental. But most people like it.
Yeah.
You know, they're amused by it. So it's pimped up, my BMX.
Yeah, fully pimped.
It's fully pimped.
You got a little squeaky horn
I've got
thing.
a squeaky horn, and I've got yellow tyres and yellow handlebars, and I couldn't get a black and yellow saddle, so it's a black saddle with white bits. So I got a felt tip and yellowed the white bits just to, so that's OCD, isn't it?
It's pimping.
Yeah, and then I went off to the allotment and one of the guys at the allotment was going, oh yeah, I love your bike. Go on, let's see you do a wheelie. And what did one kid shout at me? What did he say? Lift it.
Bunny hop.
No, he said lift it. Lift it, Nana G. And I got to the allotment and I'm riding up there. He said, go up there and let's see you do it. I said, I can't do that. Anyway, I rode up there and he went, hey. He said, you've got two big yellow blobs on your backside and all the yellow stuff had come off on my pants. It's still a bit yellow, but I love that bike.
That's class.
Because it's tiny, it's got no gears, because I don't know what to do with gears anyway. That you fall off your bike while you're trying to sort it out. And I think it's only got, will it have a back brake or it's just got...
No, yeah, probably just have a back brake.
Back brake, so it's very simple.
If it's just got a front brake, you'll just go straight over.
Yeah, and I've touch wood, I've never come off it.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It just gets me to the allotment and back. But it's perfect, isn't it?
Perfect, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And it's little.
Yeah.
And I can still get on it.
Gangster grandma cruising.
Think.
And so, like, the studio, is there a plan with the studio, or is it just like let it do its thing now, the yoga studio? Because it is so beautiful.
Oh,
Studio
no.
17.
It's Studio 17. There's no plan. The people that come, I don't advertise. I've never asked anybody if they want to use it. They just come. They find out, word of my mouth, and they do this antenatal thing and baby massage and baby yoga. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't get involved in it, but I can see. I can't even see in, but I can feel it when I go. There used to be a baby ballet class. She stopped because she was having a baby, but that. Oh, I'm not kidding. I was emotional when those kids were in there. You know, the wheels on the bus go around and you could see the little in the tutus and oh God, that was gorgeous.
Perfect.
But something will come back. Something will come back there.
Yeah.
And everything that comes there is perfect. In fact, I don't think I've said. I don't think there's been anybody that's come and asked can they use it that I've thought no. Oh, there was something. Yeah, but I said no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but do you know what happens if I go down there and just sweep up and make sure there's toilet roll, and I'm just like the maintenance man, and I can feel what's gone on in there.
Yeah.
I can feel.
And you've got the Indian dancers that used to go on before us, so we'd go in the little corridor and watch the girls doing the Indian dance, and it was amazing.
Beautiful.
In the saris, like.
I know, that was really beautiful.
Are they still doing it?
They're doing it not here.
Okay.
They're not doing it here because it didn't fit. It didn't quite fit in with their schedule because it's busy. Yeah, they're all working women, and they wanted it at funny times, and it never quite fitted. Anyway, they found somewhere else which was more suitable to them.
Yeah.
But something else will turn up, and it's pretty busy in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty busy.
Yeah.
Something every evening and nearly something every day, and weekends are like ad hoc.
Yeah.
So there's a girl that does yoga training. What else?
Different workshops and that.
Yeah, there's a lady, Georgia, who does sound healing. That's amazing. That I did do it well. She kept. I don't get involved because I feel like it's a bit more professional to.
Yeah.
And also I could go somewhere else to do it. So. But she kept saying, come and do one. And I was like, no, because I know what I'm like.
You fall asleep and snore.
Like that. And I spoil it for everybody because I'm like, I always feel really guilty. Anyway, I did go, and I took my friend with me and said, lie next to me, and if I go, pinch me.
Yeah.
And anyway, she said, I'm never coming with you again, because she was just pinching me the whole time. But I got the buzz off it. Yeah. It's bowls, you know.
Yeah,
she
the
does
singing bowl.
Ringing,
yeah,
singing. Beautiful.
Yeah, P does the bowls. Amazing.
Yeah. But
I remember when we had the Indian flautist. They called remember the flautist?
That you brought.
Yeah. That was.
I've got her that.
He was like a world-renowned. Is it flautist? Is that how you say it?
Floral.
Because he plays the flute, but it's called a flautist, I think.
Or
the way you say it.
Flautist, it might be.
But yeah, he was just like another level. But he kind of does. He's a.
I mean, how
all over the
amazing
world.
Was that? Like 10 of us.
Yeah.
Watch,
like a personal,
with our own concert.
Yeah. It's just incredible, wasn't it?
Well, when things like that happen, you know, it really.
Yeah, it was. Everybody was really touched by it. It was
very emotional.
Another level, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is another level.
Yeah.
That was what. I've had a few things in there like that. I mean, I'd have to sit and remember. I've had a couple of birthdays. I think I had 70th in there, and that was unbelievable. And people were getting up singing. And I had another one and I got this guy who sings opera. Who's singing Nis and Dora and all those songs that even if you're not into opera, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's got good acoustics.
Yeah.
Do you find that?
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
Well, that's why I built it.
Really good.
It's got 3 foot.
And it's amazing that you've got the roof lighting, because you can sometimes you're in Shavasana and you look up and you can see the clouds or the stars. You know what I mean? It's if you sat in the right place, you just got to make sure you sit in the right place.
I know. And if anybody's 6'6", they can stand there and get a bit of extra
Yeah, you can get your head in.
The skylights. You know, without skylights, that would be horrible. It'd just be a dark room.
So, the studio and everything that you offer is an amazing service to like the wellness community in Manchester, and just like super grateful for what you've done with that.
Thank you.
But I think to like finish the podcast, I want to talk about your love life.
No, that's personal.
We can't talk. No, we can't talk about your love life. Oh.
No. I'm enjoying myself. Don't you worry.
Brilliant. All right.
Okay.
Anything else you want to share?
Not really. I think
Any other tips on youthful exuberance other than food?
Well, you know, taking vitamins. So we all need B, D, zinc, magnesium, and lots of oil on your skin, oil down your throat, oil in your food, good oil. Because the oil now...
Is it Dr. Udo's, the one you always tell me to use?
Udo's. Udo
yeah.
Erasmus, yeah. It's pretty good, but there's good ones around. And you'd pay a lot of money for it, but... So you should.
Well, you pay a lot of money to put oil in your car, don't you?
Oh, don't talk about cars. Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? People will put petrol in the car. You're not going to put fucking vegetable oil in your car. So it's like, well, why don't you put good stuff into your body? A lot of people aren't learning that yet.
Well, a lot of people, they're lied to. They're lied to. And they go in the supermarket and it says something's good. And it's a lie.
Yeah.
It's just a lie. If it's in a packet or it's been touched, so if it's come from a... Well, we can go out and eat those blueberries now if you like. And taste it. You would never taste blueberries like that. You don't even wash them. You just eat them. Yeah. We just lied to with the food, aren't we? Oh, this is good oil, or this is good bread, or this is good vegetables. And it's a lie. So you've just got to be picky. You've just got to be choosy and pay a bit more money. And forfeit something else, because whatever it is you're spending, there'll be something that you're wasting your money on.
Yeah.
So spend it on something good, and buy oil pulling. That's a good one. You know, just swig of oil.
And coconut oil as well, pulling.
Oh, loads.
Yeah.
Oh, do you do it with coconut? I've never done it with coconut. But I clean my teeth with coconut oil.
Yeah.
Giving up toothpaste, giving up soap, giving up shampoo. Not shampooed my hair for 11 years, I don't think. And, you know, so there's stuff in shampoo that says, oh, you will have, you know, beautiful hair if you use this. It's bollocks, it's lies.
Yeah, it just draws all the oils out of your hair, doesn't it?
Yeah, it strips everything. So, yeah, just pay attention and don't be fooled. But it's at you, isn't it? It's at everybody. You know, this is great. So you just got to do your research and make sure you got the best stuff.
And that's what I think every time I come to your house is like a little gem that you give me about the oil, about this, about what I should be putting in my diet and stuff. So it's like always a pleasure to hang out with you.
Oh, good.
Always a pleasure to be in your company, and always amazing that you've been so much a big part of our journey with me and Joanna, with Full Power CACAO, with giving people treatments at our retreats and festivals, and bringing your energy to it. So
yeah, full power.
Full power.
So come on, make us a cup of cocoa.
Make us a cup of cacao. All right.
Cacao.
Nice one, Di. Thanks for being the first guest on the Full Power podcast.
Oh, really?
Absolutely smashed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Okay.